burden the congregation and you take up their time, you take up people's time with something that like you make them a captive audience in something against their will that they don't need to be there for. Okay? So when they take an hour to do a auction for a bunch of stuff that has nobody's, that you don't have to be there for, that's 1 hour, 1 man hour for every person in the room. So if they have, let's say, 100 people in the room, that's 100 man hours they just ate up. So I would rather, seriously, I would rather pay the money up front,
Right.
get a ticket, sit down, let's just get the davening thing done, and then let us go, right? But instead, they stick you in the room, and then they're going to have their auction, and suddenly they're going to sell everything. Everything but the chandeliers are for sale. If you want to have Hagba, it's an auction, and it's going to go for hundreds of dollars, and only the rich can have an aliyah. I think the whole idea of auctions to have honors in a shul is in bad taste. It should not be done on money. Okay, I think that's in bad taste. It means like the rich guy, right? They sell aliyahs, right? Oh, you want an aliyah? There's 5 aliyahs on Rosh Hashanah or whatever, right? So if you want an aliyah, yeah. On Yom Kippur, how many is there? There's 7 plus
6. Oh, or Shabbat is 7.
7, yeah. So and then there's Maftir, and then there's Nila, and there's all these different things that they sell. So everything is up for sale, and if you're rich, you're going to get an aliyah on Yom Kippur. Oh, look at me, I'm so holy, I get an aliyah. Yeah, well, great. If you're not rich, it ain't happening. You know, and you want maftir on Nila, which they say is the most holy thing, right? Maftir on Nila, it's $2,500, $3,500, $3,500. So, like, if you're some rich guy from Beverly Hills, it's like, hey, look at me, I'm going to spend 10 grand, I'm going to get Nila, I'm a tzaddik. And I'm just like, oh God, this is such a bad taste. It makes me sick to watch this. It has nothing to do with Judaism. It's a turnoff. The whole concept of giving out aliyahs for money and all this stuff, it nauseates me. It sickens me. I would prefer just, let's give aliyahs, right, to the people who have done the most, maybe for the shul, or the people who learn the most. Whatever, you have some system, but it shouldn't involve who's giving the most money. And you shouldn't be giving publicly anyways. If you want to give a lot of money to a shul, do it privately, right? Send them a check, or whatever, and say, go to the rabbi and go, here, I'm giving you, $10,000. But don't have to go, look at me, I'm giving $10,000 on Yom Kippur, I'm so holy. The whole thing sickens me. So that's my complaint. So you see the good in it, right? But I see the real emes in it.
Well, almost all shuls do a lot of fundraising on Yom Kippur. So it's not just Chabad. And I know the Happy Minyan does auctions on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. So also I remember B'nai David, when you get an aliyah, you ask publicly how much do you want to donate after every aliyah on Shabbos.
Oh, that's nice. They lean on you.
And so a lot of shuls are like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is great, too. You walk in the door, you're a guest, right? So they go, hey, what's your name? And then you say, I'm Levi ben Abraham. So they bring you up, they go, great. Yamot, Levi ben Abraham, and then they bring you up there, and then they give you a aliyah, and like Levi's all thrilled, like, oh my God, I'm on the stage. I'm on the stage. There's like 500 people in the shul. Look at me. I should have worn my Prager T-shirt. I'm on stage. Everybody, look at me. I'm a big deal. Oh, look at me. And then they hit you up. So Levi, how much you giving? And you're like, huh?
Yeah, they said it in Hebrew, and I went, huh? That's it. How much you want to donate?
How much you want to donate? If someone...
I just was like so shell-shocked.
Of course.
Because I was raised a goy. I wasn't, prepared for this. And so they kind of let me off the hook somehow. They said, you can think about it or something. You know what?
So
I was just like...
If they came up to me and pulled that shtick, I'd never step foot in there again. And I would just say, hey, here's you want to know what I'm going to give you? I'm going to give you a chance to kiss my ass. How's that? I'm going to give you a chance to kiss my ass. How dare you bring me up and then embarrass me by trying to hit on me in public like that, right?
Well, you can say matana, a gift.
I'll give you a gift. I'll let you look at my genitalia for 5 minutes.
That's for sure.
I'll give you. I've got a Ralph's bag filled with a mystery gift. A Ralph's bag filled with a mystery gift signed by Luke Ford.
You know how embarrassing that is to try to dispose of that bag, and no one's looking when you put it in the trash can, and hope that no one can smell it, and like hope that it doesn't like cause any service for you or for
Right.
anyone, and like what if like all sorts of animals start like digging through the trash to try to get a hold of it?
Oh God, I think you're gonna drive away all the animals with that one. Like, oh God, woo! All right, what's happening here? Bleb the Champ Brett says he agrees he doesn't like selling aliyahs. What if there's only one Kohen? What if there's only one Kohen in the room? I think he gets it. No.
Oh no, you can. He has to leave. Like if someone else wins that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Can they make him
Kohen
stay in the
has
room?
to
Oh,
leave.
this is such bad taste. Because we want to raise money for the shul, so I'll just step outside. Yeah, it's bad. The whole thing is bad taste in my mouth. I really get incredibly turned off when I'm forced to be there in the room at the time of an auction. I will pick up and leave. If I'm in a place and they're going to do an auction like that, I will just pick up and leave. I'm done davening there. Thank you.
This guy next to me said that a shul he'd gone to, someone got up and bid $100,000 for one of the honors, and
Jesus.
bid against himself $150,000, and eventually like bid $200,000. So yeah, this is
I see,
some
that's-
Moroccan.
That's just ostentatious. That's like, look at me, I'm giving 100,000. You know what? The Rambam says the best way to give tzedakah is to give it privately. Okay, is to give it and nobody knows you're giving it. When you do it out in front like an open like that, you're doing it what's called gaiva, which is how do you translate that? Gaiva is like
For
ego.
honor, ego.
You're doing it. Look at me, I'm so important. I'm giving all this money to the shul, and then I would start thinking, you know what, dude? If you have $200,000, you shouldn't be giving it to a shul. Okay, a shul is way down on the importance, the priority list. There's a priority list of what you should give to with your money. The most important thing is to feed the poor. Okay, the poor.
That's more important than
The shul is not that important. It's very low on the list. Let's go through it. This is very important. The most important thing is to feed the poor.
They can eat out of trash cans.
No, because the fresh cans have sick things that people put in there.
Really?
Yeah, like Ralph's bags filled with stuff. You just told us about that. Okay. The most important thing is to feed the poor. If you have people in your town who've not eaten, who are poor, then your responsibility is to take care of them
There's
first.
no one like that in the Western world.
Yeah, there is right
No
here.
one's starving.
I am. I'm dependent.
You wouldn't take $1,000 to shave your beard, so you can't.
But that's fine. That's why it's important to give to me, so that I don't end up having to be put in a situation like that. You support the fact that, hey, Rabs is strong on mitzvahs. He's not going to cut his beard and that's what you get behind. Okay. That guy should be giving, instead of $200,000, he should be taking care of the poor Jews in his town. That's number one. Number two is, the number two on the priority list would be bury the dead. If there's anybody here in town who can't afford to get buried,
Like Rabs.
then he and the community needs to be able to pay for the funeral and the cemetery, whatever. So he should be giving money to that. Give money to Chaber Kadisha. Give money to Tamchei Shabbos, which delivers food to the poor. 3, teach Torah to those who can't learn on their own.
Yeah,
so
send money to us.
if you've got, let's say, like somebody who's got a learning disability, that person needs to be taught Torah. That's very important. So a Jew who's got a learning disability and the parents can't afford to set them up, maybe they're like autistic, and there's not good services for autistic kids, right? So that's where money should be spent to get these kids to be able to learn Torah and whatnot. And then you want to make sure that all the other Jews can learn Torah. It's more important to fund yeshivas. There's not a single yeshiva in Los Angeles that's not operating at a loss right now. They're all in financial trouble. They have been for 30 years. There's no reason why we support all these fancy schmancy shuls, but we're not supporting yeshivas, because yeshivas are more important than a shul. And more important than yeshiva is a mikveh. The Torah tells us there's a halacha. If you've only got money in your town for a mikveh or a shul, you must choose the mikveh and build your mikveh. A mikveh is more important to a shul. Levi, can you tell us why?
Because the mikveh is a mitzvah from the Torah?
The mikveh is a mitzvah from the Torah. that you have to have mikveh so that men and women, married women, can be together, right? If you stop